how are you today? Alright, so, where the fuck does that say late? I said, how are you? Fuck the fucking captioner. Um, I said captioner, not Catherine, but whoever Catherine is, I guess fuck you too. Um, I'm just kidding. Sorry. But fucking, watch someone named Catherine be watching this. Like, well, bitch, fuck you then. I'm just kidding. But anyway, fucking yeah, I was starting this live stream. Before I was starting it, I was talking to my best friend, person, human being, emotional support person. Um, I'm not good with words and labels, but fucking my human about what I'm doing in the topic and all of that. And he's like, yeah, don't you need a change? And I'm like, no, it's called bitching in my bathrobe. I'm good. Like the fuck. So, but I just thought that was funny. He was like, why are you dressed like? But and I'm like, you know what? The whole fucking point of me having this bitching in my bathrobe is so I have a segment I don't have to worry about being dressed for. And most of the time, y'all just see me in a t-shirt anyway. And it's not because I don't go get dressed cute, but it's because I'll be in sensory overload, and I'm like, fuck all of that. I don't want to wear shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. It's like not that I don't care about like looks or whatever, but it's more of like I'd rather be comfortable than give a fuck what you think about me. So it's like if I want to feel pretty, I will make myself look pretty, god damn it. But if I don't give a shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I don't know what words are. But okay, so today's topics we are discussing fucking it's a follow up to yesterday. I had did a live stream where I compared Depesh Mandalia with Common Thread Collective, and that's DepeshMandalia. And these are for marketing services, marketing coaching services, and ad account setup and ad services and full funnel growth regarding your marketing and advertising and sales. Um, what the fuck? Full funnel growth? What the fuck, captioner? I said full funnel, funnel growth. Growth. Fucking stupid ass bitch. Growth. Okay. Sorry. Fucking, I don't know why I'm like this. I've been going through some shit and I feel kind of fucking delirious. So, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go over. I had said yesterday that there is something that I was questioning regarding value alignment and politics with this marketing agency. And so we're gonna go over that because I didn't want to be um talking shit unless I could be very specific. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I actually couldn't even remember. I remembered that it happened, but I didn't remember where it happened at. And I'm in two of his Facebook groups on his Facebook page, YouTube channel. I've had all of this learning material, contact list. And so, like, I was going through his social media, and then I was going through all the learning material that I've got from him, trying to find this shit. And then I'm like looking through my email, and I finally found it just by my email. It's the last place I looked, obviously. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that, and then I also want to talk about Supermetrics. Supermetrics is this data analytics tool and integration tool, um, and Common Thread Collective and Depesh Mandalia. I love how it called him depressed. That's hilarious. Good enough. Fucking dude, yeah. So perhaps that's fucked up of me. I shouldn't say good enough. I wonder if that's xenophobic or racist of me. His name's Depesh. Yeah, there you go. Depesh Mandalia. The fucking God damn it! I did it again. Shit. All right. You know what? Fuck. My bad. We're gonna call him DM. What the fuck? That's not what I said. Oh, fuck this fucking captioner. I hope the fucking auto captioner on YouTube is doing better. Bullshit. Um, so fucking anyway. But yeah, so we're gonna go over that shit. Took me long enough. Fucking, we're gonna go through this shit faster. It took me to say what we're doing. Then after that, we're going to compare and contrast Ahrefs versus Ahrefs. We're gonna compare them versus Moz, M-O-Z. All right, that's not good either for the fucking captioner. Shit. All right, well, fucking so we're gonna look at them, compare and contrast them. We're gonna look at both of their free SEO tools available to us, as well as their learning material to us. And I debated whether or not to call this the business review or bitchin' in my bathrobe, because I've been using both of their SEO tools for years, and I've also done a lot of learning from their free content online, but I actually haven't used that in a few years. The reason I stuck with the Common Thread Collective, Depesh, Depesh stuff, Mandalia stuff, fucking the reason those things I definitely did that as a business review is because I felt like I had more of that extended um, involvement with executing on their specific plans versus with the Moz, M-O-Z-E, and Ahrefs. Did I say E? I didn't mean to say E. It's just M-O-Z. Um, God damn it, no. M. What the fuck? Fuck this fucking captioner. I don't know if it's just me speaking though. Is it me speaking or is it the captioner or both? Okay, whatever. You know what? I'll show you bitches. Alright, let's just do this fucking shit. My bad. Alright, hold up. Hi, my name is Lexi, also known as and doing business as Deaf Child. In 2022, my company was listed as number 14 Best Louisiana Events Companies and Startups. I have been doing business as Deaf Child since 2013. I have my Bachelor of Science in Music Industry Studies and Business Administration, and deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. And I've got about 50 certifications in marketing and sales that you can find at noladeafchild.com. Oh yeah, but what I was fucking saying was you're totally gonna see this shit. If I make a business review playlist, I feel like it still kind of qualifies as a business review, because I've used both platforms, but I'm leaning more towards a bitchin' in my bathrobe over a business review um, execution of this live stream, because while I'm going to be discussing which service I like more for what, I'm not going to necessarily be reviewing how they impact my business as a whole at this point, because I have not worked with them directly at this point to execute their specific plans for my business, though I do use their tools, so I'm going to put it in the business review for their free services. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm like, because I've sampled them, but I feel like there's a big difference between sampling something and actually experiencing the full service. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't experienced all of the Depesh Mandalia stuff, or all Common Thread Collective stuff, but I have received specific services from them that I can look to, and so from the email list of him for in 2023, I got an email from him where he talks about meeting with this dude at Trump Tower, uh, behind Trump's Truth social platform. Let's look into that real quick, actually. I should have totally done this before the live stream, but whatever. This is when I wanted to do that. So, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's owned by, it's a social media platform owned by Trump. Like, so, yeah. Fucking, So that's what I was referring to in yesterday's live stream, and I was saying like there's a political issue here, and I don't think I have value alignment with the guy. So it's one of those things where I the resources and the services I received from him, I was lucky to not have to pay for those because other people pay for what I received on my behalf, if that makes sense. Because what I received to him was through my role at another agency where it was basically like I was just receiving the information given to me in doing my job. But fucking like, and actually that's part of why I ended up, I feel like that value misalignment is why that job didn't work out for me. Um, you know what I mean? So it's hard when you know you have a gift, you know there's things that you know you can do, but um you don't feel like you have a place where you belong or you can actually uh feel safe with the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's why like a lot of people end up going on their own because like I don't understand why people aren't more humane. In business, we use business a lot to excuse fucked up shit, and I'm kind of just over that shit. You know what I'm saying? So part of me is like, well, maybe he's just ignorant, but at the same time, in my opinion, it's your job as a business owner to research who you're doing these types of big deals with. I don't know. So there are just things I feel about that. So the reason I still take the information given to me in utilization, like, and I would recommend people to, look into the services if you feel that is aligned with you, is because um, I can't deny that if you follow his plan, you are going to get profitable results. But yeah, like at the end of the day, what about value alignment, you know? Is my fucking caption not working? No. I don't know what the fuck this, where it says because good night. What? What the fuck? I said at the end of the day, I can't deny. Huh. Fucking stupid ass bitch. Fuck you, captioner. Alright. Fucking. Oh, my bad. Alright, so. That is what I was referring to. So. He has. So, yeah. And this is what I was saying. Why I think someone like me can actually. That can also be. Like, what's my weakness can actually also be my unique selling proposition. Because the reason that I'm not really good at working for other people is actually why people will come to me over other people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me, kind of. All right. Well, next, I want to look at the tool that Common Thread Collective and Depesh Mandalia were both discussing and both use. Actually, I can't remember if they both discussed that in the specific videos we watched, but I know that they both discuss and use Supermetric in general. Um, but yeah, fucking so Supermetrics, what it is, you can integrate data. So you take, so say you've got your Google Analytics and you're running Facebook ads and you got a YouTube channel, and it's one of these things where you're able to take all of this information from one place, um, and it gives you templates and it gives you the code and the tools needed to sync all of that data together and then output it. So you control those inputs, and then you can also control those outputs where you can then have that data represented in different places or platforms that look in different ways where you need it. Um, and we'll go over some free examples that they have as well. So they have, if I'm not mistaken, in their resources, um, they have free plug and play templates. So you can see like an example of what I'm talking about. So for me, my big thing is having templates for Looker Studio. So you can get a bigger understanding of some of your metrics that are happening there. Um, and so whenever you use these sources, I don't have a Supermetrics account, but I do now. Um, ding, 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 ding. Sorry. What it does is gives you free tools, free stuff. So with the paid versions, what you're gonna be able to track is have a better understanding of what is your visitors times your conversion rate times your average order value. And when you understand these metrics and you have access to the tools that represent these numbers to you in a holistic, integrated way, you're then able to make decisions about what it is you need to be doing to increase your revenue through your marketing at a given point, and where is it in a given sales funnel that you are seeing disruptions in your revenue flows so that you can fix it. Um, so let's see what this, if we can finally fucking see this shit. A lot of steps have to be taken here. But connecting Supermetrics to Looker Studio. So Looker Studio is a data tool offered by Google. Okay. Let's see what happens when we create a report. There we go. So, I haven't been promoting myself a whole lot lately because I've been going through some shit. Um, but what it does is you're gonna get a whole breakdown. What is your traffic? How many users? You know, you have our overview right here. How we have a 95% engagement rate. That's pretty good. You know, how many people are coming, and this is all organic. I'm not spending any money on this. So where are people going, and how long are they spending at different pages? How am I getting these people? They're mostly direct on organic search and social, if not direct. Where are they coming from? Whenever you have this type of understanding of your audience, then you're going to be able to advertise to them better. And you know, you say it's this has been a 20-minute live stream, so I know I talked for like 5 to 10 minutes, so it took me what 5 to 10 minutes to get this set up, and that was straight up from the Supermetrics page. Like, it won't take you that long to test their shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, maybe I should add Supermetrics to this title too, since we're kind of reviewing them in a way, but we're testing them out. So you can see like the engagement rate where it's like unassigned. It's where I have like a less engagement rate. So if I could figure out this channel group from unassigned, where did those bitches come from? Um, Using other tools and analytics, then that right there will be a way I'll be able to improve If I figure out why they didn't engage, I can improve my performance, if that makes sense. Um, and whenever you're using, oh, they got different charts and shit too. We can check that shit out. I'm wondering if that's for pop-ups. So this is the length in seconds. I recently turned off the affiliate marketing team landing page. I'm going to make some decisions about that because I want to do a better job with my affiliate team. Um, I don't know what this means, but that's cool. Like I mean, I know what data aggregation is, but I just don't know what they mean by why they say they have a bad re-aggregation. Oh, they're just saying, I guess that means I can't do whatever the fuck I'm asking. Oh shit, I think I just closed that out. Whoopsie. Oh, okay. I wanted campaigns to show me anything, so I'm not running any paid campaigns, and I haven't been. So I'm not, I don't think, okay, showing organic and direct, that's still interesting. If I were to have broken this down by using UTM tracking parameters, I think that I could have gotten a better breakdown on the campaign. All right. Well, that's interesting. So you can see, like for me, you're gonna get a bigger breakdown over your shit than what's gonna be offered typically just by their general shit. Um, close that out. Close that out. So yeah, I recommend checking out if their templates can work for you because they also have them for Google Sheets and basically anything that you might need to check out. Um, and in regards to pricing, whether or not you want to pay for that, I feel like that's gonna depend on your business. Like, so that's a whole different story. So, and here's another thing: if you're already paying for Zapier, then or something like that, then you might not need to use Supermetrics. And there's another one that's similar to Zapier as well that that's similar to Supermetrics. It's more like Supermetrics than Zapier. I'm trying to remember. What's the name of this shit? Data integration. No, that's none of this shit is right. Let's go with Supermetrics competitor. None of those. That's not right. That's not what I was thinking of. Segment. I think it's segment. Let me check. Yep. So it's. I feel like segment is a little bit different, but similar in terms of the data aggregation. Um, they're a bit more technical, in my opinion, than Supermetrics, which is why you might want to go with Supermetrics. But I think you could do more with segment. So it's like if you like Supermetrics, but maybe I'm wrong because anytime I've ever been able to use either, I haven't had full leeway to do whatever the fuck I want with it. You know what I mean? So I could be wrong, but that's what I think, in my opinion. So, um, yeah, but let that marinate. Supermetrics might be right for you. And what it's going to tell you is, and basically, if you're not good at creating reports either, but you still want to create something that's a little bit different than what you're going to get from the standard template in Looker Studio, I also think it just makes it look, shows that you're putting in that effort to present data in a different way, and you're not just applying a basic template to do it, because sometimes some people are like, that's all you need to do, that's why the template exists, is because it works, and so there's no need to reinvent the wheel, so they like that. Whereas other people see it as like, well, if you're just using that template, I can just use that template. So if you go use a template from something like Supermetrics instead, and it represents the data to them in a way that they wouldn't be able to just go do in the platform themselves without knowing this, then sometimes that will elevate it for them in a way. Um, if we're also talking about elevating the customer experience with how they receive the data. But at the end of the day, I feel like all of these tools are going, you can get the same information from any analytics platform if you know what you're looking for in some ways. Like, in a lot of ways, Looker Studio isn't going to really tell you much that you can't go find in analytics. But it's more about like, what are you looking for and how easy it is to represent the data, because sometimes you're going to go be able to find something in Looker Studio that quicker than you would be able to see it if you have to go look for it in analytics, even if analytics can tell you more about it when you're there. So that's the benefit in using these tools and having the option to see the data in different ways. It's just basically like having different filters for it. Um, it's like having different filters for editing a picture in a way. So yeah. So fucking next I want to compare Ahrefs with Moz, M-O-Z. So first we're going to check out both of their websites, and then we're going to look at both of their YouTube channels, and I figured we could just react to one of each of their videos. Um, and what I wanted to show you is their free SEO platforms, and like show you the functionality of that and why I use them and how I think they may or may not be beneficial for you. But in my opinion, they're free, so I'm not fucking trying this shit. So with Ahrefs, it's a bit harder to access their free tools, because if you go to like kind of click these things, it doesn't necessarily make it clear that these are free, or if you click it, it still takes you to the sign up thing. But they do have a help center, and a blog and a beginner's guide to SEO and a little academy with a free, their free video courses. And they got a conference too. But when you scroll down, you're able to then see at the bottom their free SEO tools. And that was that link up twice. So in the free SEO tools, you've got free keyword generators. Should be this right there. Whatever, look at that. We got free keyword generator, keyword difficulty checker, YouTube keyword tool, Amazon, Bing, um, backlinks, broken link, all of that, website authority, website traffic checker, keyword rank checker, SERP checker. And SERP stands for search engine result page. And then they also have other tools like an AI writing tool and an SEO toolbar. And this toolbar will then show you an on-page SEO report, a broken link checker, redirect tracer, and country changer for search engine result page in one extension. So they got a lot of helpful tools here. So when you do keyword ideas for a marketing agency, content marketing agency has the lowest search volume, which is why it's easier to rank for. Digital marketing agency near me, even though it has a lower search volume, there's still a lot of people that bid for that term. So that's why it's medium. And these others that are hard, it's because they're either so niche below here that they're hard because you have a lot of competition in that market. Or up here, it's not only that, but it's also the search volume is so high that at a certain level, when the search volume is high and you have a lot of competitors, it's even harder to rank for something because whoever's performing the best and getting the most views is going to keep getting those views in certain cases, or could, unless something new comes out to outperform that content. And because the way Google works, there's two things though that can impact that. Because in some ways, Google, if it's dated material, Google wants the most outdated information. So the most outdated page is going to show. But then in other ways, if that is equivalent, then um, whoever has the longest website and the longest standing with Google is who's likely going to rank first, unless they have a lower domain authority. And a lot goes into your domain authority. Which, there's expertise, authority, and trust. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. It also shows you questions, and the questions are important because this is the content you can then create. What is a marketing agency? How to start a marketing agency. So these are the keywords that people are looking and that are likely to get people interested in you. Now the thing with the lower volume of these keywords though, because they're long tail, you're still going to be you can still be incorporating the phrase match keywords in with these questions and rank for both. And then it's able to basically put that into content for you. And it's like that way, if you don't ever know what to do, but you know what you want to rank for, you just start using a keyword planner, and then it tells you what to talk about in order to show up for what you want to be found for, if that makes sense. So it's like, fine, you don't have to come up with shit, but follow this map, okay? Um, and they got one for YouTube as well. So, and this is important because it's going to be very specific about what are people searching on each specific location. So the way you're going to want to optimize your blog for Google, unless you're trying to focus on getting your YouTube channel ranking in Google, is going to be different than the way you want to focus on optimizing the titles of your videos to show up in the YouTube search platform itself. Although when you rank to go on YouTube, that can also be indicative of how your Google search page is going to perform, your search result for that title in Google search engine result page. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And so this is what the shit that, the phrase match, what people are searching for right now regarding advertising on YouTube and the type of questions that are ranking. And people go onto YouTube to learn, which is why you can get some traction with business there. But at the same time, people also get on YouTube to mentally check out. So on a certain level, it's like fucking, it can be difficult to get shown for business related content because, not only do you have to reach the people who are interested in your industry, but also you then have to fight the concept of there's only so much mental workload people can handle. So if all you're focused on is ranking for your business content, then it's a little bit harder to rank for that because people only have so much energy to give you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, their tools are super helpful. I highly recommend it. Like their backlink checker, this is gonna tell you who is linking to you. Most of them follow. I wonder why my domain rating is low. Gotta figure that out. It used to be higher. What the fuck is this? Huh. Did I get another one of these? Oh, that's cool. Oh, hell no. Let's get off of that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, did someone just like copying and pasting the same thing over and over? Hmm. You see what I'm saying? So, what is this though? I don't have, they're not, who the fuck is that? Because I don't have that. And this is why I need to, because that's what's bringing my shit down. It's this program. Okay. What I think is bringing my program down is I have an affiliate program. And I think it's, so my affiliate, you're not supposed to be able to even get a link. So I don't know if people are just making up a link because I have it set up. So you're not supposed to be able to get a link. See, I'm glad I did this. I haven't done this in a second for myself. You're not even supposed to be able to get a backlink and a link for my affiliate program unless I approve you. So why are people just putting that? Because they're not in my program. They don't get paid for this. So then they just are using me for content or something. I don't like that. Um, yeah. So I gotta check that out. Hmm. This is interesting. I gotta marinate on how I feel about all this. But yeah, so. And this is why you use Ahrefs tools, because it's gonna let you know what the fuck is wrong with your shit. Let's see what other tool says my domain rating is. Alright, sorry. Apologize. Got distracted here. It's interesting. Okay, is there any other tools we want to look at here? Now we're good. We looked at a few shit. We're gonna keep going. fucking. So, you know what? Before we compare their videos, I think I'll look at Moz now. And then we'll look at their videos side by side. Fucking. Okay, so now let's look at their page. So there is a little bit easier to access their free SEO tools. It's right at the top. They have a domain analysis and a keyword explorer, link explorer, and all of that as well. Let's do a domain analysis real quick for me. I'm like, I just want to know what they say about my domain authority now. Ah, that says it's low too. I swear it used to be higher. What the fuck is this though? That's what's bringing my domain authority down. They were never even approved into my program, because if they were, a pop-up would show up right here showing that they are. So what I'm gonna do, and here's what you do to fix that. Here's how you fix that, and I'm gonna show you guys if it works or not. We're gonna check back in a year. So I'm gonna go through all the domain link checkers now. Here's how you fix that. And I make a spreadsheet of all of the bad links that are linking to me that I don't want to show that I'm trying to rank for, or anything like that. So then you submit those to Google with what's called a disavow link, and you do that in Google Search Console with a spreadsheet, and you do a disavow link request. So you ask Google to ignore the fact that somebody put your URL in these places, because you weren't trying to deal with all that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to possibly end up having to shut down my affiliate program as it is, or I'm going to have to redo all of that, figure that out or something, because can't have this no more. But yeah, make sure people are blocked from my affiliate program if they're not approved and things like that. So those are things that I'm going to do, because before my affiliate program, I had a really high domain authority. So let's see. I need to figure that out. So what the fuck is this ranking to me? Probably shouldn't have clicked that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, and I think that's going to put my domain authority pretty up. And then let's do keyword explorer. Oh, okay. Let's do some keywords for marketing. They also show you some questions, what's being shown here. So we would have to pay to see, or sign up. We'd have to sign up to see the full results. I'm not signing up about that. I'm like, they wanted to see me and all they would show me. And then let's see what the link explorer shows for me. It's my backlink checker. Oh, now we gotta create an account for that. Nah, I'm good. We can use free tools for that. You know what? I might do a work with me live stream where I do the whole we're gonna disavow thing together, and we close off my affiliate program together, and we'll do it all together. I might do that the next day or two. Tomorrow I really need to focus on my client, so tomorrow I'm gonna focus on my client, but this weekend that's what we're gonna do probably. Sometime this weekend, I think. So yeah. So before we go, we're not gonna do a long video, but let's do some popular videos. Let's look at popular. We won't do too long of each. We got shit. I got shit to do. I'm kind of hungry. I didn't eat. Y'all notice I'm a little more rambly than usual. It's because I'm a little hangry. So, Maz has a Whiteboard Friday series I really like. Ahrefs, they also do learning material. I think they're both great. I'm going to choose about a 20-minute video for both of them. So we'll choose like the first 20-minute video we see for both of them. So for this one, we're going to do SEO for beginners, a basic search engine optimization tutorial for higher Google rankings. But this one's from 6 years ago. You know what? Actually, I lied. Because of search engine optimization is so important to have the most recent data. Instead of doing the most popular, we're going to do the most recent. So we'll do just the last one of each, I think. Or we'll do... Yeah, I guess... I was gonna do this one, but they're talking about food, and I'm fucking hungry, man. What the shit? So, no, I'm not watching that one because I'm fucking hungry. I think I'm gonna do this one on schema marked up. Yeah, we'll do this one on schema. So, alright, let's do this fucking bitch. So this is from Ahrefs.
How does
Ah. Where the fuck was it? Oh, yeah, this one.
The whole point of
Okay. So this is from Ahrefs. They were the first tool that we looked at wherever I realized I had a low domain authority right now. I haven't checked my domain authority. I don't check my metrics that much because like, fuck it, I need to. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're gonna go through times in your life where you have a high domain authority and a lower than a higher than a lower because you'll just be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So, fucking, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'll show you together how we can improve it. And you'll see why I don't even give a fuck because you're gonna see how easy it is to improve. But yeah, so fucking, well, it's not even like, it just takes time. It's not that it's difficult, you just have to wait. And that's what people don't like about it, is that it's not immediate. But because I already know it's not immediate, and because I've already been in business over 11 years, almost 12 now, it's like, you know, you kind of get to a point where you're just like, when you've worked that long, you kind of get to a point where you're like, fuck it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so now I'm doing a little reaction to 2 videos, so we'll try to wrap this up in less than an hour if I can, or maybe it might be an hour and a half to 2 hours, but I'm gonna try to wrap this up between 1 and 2 hours if I can. So we're gonna do a reaction to this Ahrefs videos. Watch this if your website gets under 10,000 visits a month, and I think this one will be a good long-term one. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the fuck they say, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let's do it.
some people get millions of monthly visits to their website, while over 96% of content gets zero traffic from Google? The problem isn't tactics. It's that top performers follow a proven 3-stage roadmap that makes traffic generation predictable and scalable.
And I'm gonna teach you how to do it in under 14 minutes. And it all begins at stage 1, adopting a repeatable strategy. Now,
Okay, what he's saying right now about adopting a repeatable strategy and showing you this roadmap and having a plan is exactly what the fuck why I am obsessed with procedures and protocols the way I am. Because yeah, there's a lot of moving parts of marketing, and yeah, it can be difficult, and yeah, it does require a lot of training to understand some of the things that you have to do. But in my opinion, there should be no reason why we don't have simple roadmaps and procedures so that anybody can do the job. In a lot of cases, people don't want to take the time to hold your hand through the journey it takes in order to learn what you need to learn in marketing. And so then they're just like, yeah, I'm just not going to tell you about it because you don't already know about it. Instead of taking that time with you to discuss the material. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, I don't know if it's because you just don't have time, or I don't know if it's because, like, you don't know shit or what, but you know what I mean? Like, in certain situations, you're gonna have people expecting you to do things that they don't even know how to do, and they're not paying you to know how to do that thing, and they're not giving you the resource you need to go learn. You know, so it can be a struggle to where you have to go find these resources. So I really like how they have the roadmap published for you.
Now, there's plenty of ways to hack traffic, but traffic hacks don't last long. And it's like that for most things in life.
For instance, if you wanted to learn a simple song on the guitar,
I apologize. I wanted to take away the camera, but I forgot to set up the video on the other screen before I started live stream. So I'm going to do that real quick. It's going to go to a black screen real quick before the video pops back up. Alright, I apologize. So yeah, he's talking about, like, you know, the way we teach. And so I like that how he's beginning this conversation with the repeatable process, with discussing the learning process as well. Because to me, that is so crucial, because that is what marketing and business and advertising is. It's a lifelong learning journey. So I really love how they're discussing this. So I'm gonna try and shut up and just like let him talk for a few minutes, because I feel like like what he's saying right now is, you know, needs to be said, and I'm gonna try not to interrupt it for just like a second if I can.
you could probably read a chord chart, practice a few times, and eventually get good at that song. But what if you wanted to perform a complex guitar solo? Well, repeating the same practice strategy probably wouldn't work. You need to learn music theory, practice scales, advanced techniques, and perhaps even work with a teacher to master the intricate parts of the solo.
So building your repeatable traffic acquisition strategy needs to start with a strong foundation. And that involves choosing the right type of content to create and the right sources to get traffic from.
And let me make that decision dead simple for you. This traffic chart is typical when your strategy revolves around creating viral content. You might get big initial spikes of traffic from social media or paid ads, but it almost always ends up fading to nothing, taking you back to square one. Now, compare that with this traffic graph, which is typical for a site that creates evergreen content and generates their traffic through search engine optimization, or SEO. Traffic isn't exactly instant, but it's free, consistent, and it compounds over time, helping you take steps closer to your goal of getting 10,000 monthly visits.
So now that we know the strategy to get 10,000 visits per month, we need to go and actually do the work to get those visitors to our site. And that all happens at stage 2, the tactics. Now, some people get intimidated by SEO because they think it's too technical. But when you're under 10,000 monthly visits, all you need to do is focus on filling in the 4 pieces of the SEO puzzle. The first piece being keyword research.
which is the process of finding topics that people are actually searching for. And this process starts by generating your big list of keywords. To do that, brainstorm some broad keywords related to your niche. For example, if I had a site about learning guitar, I'd write down keywords like guitar, fingerpicking, and strumming. Next, paste those into a keyword research tool like Ahrefs Keywords Explorer, and then go to a keyword ideas report like the matching terms report. And just like that, we have our big list of keywords. Now, if you don't have an Ahrefs account, you can use our free keyword generator, which I'll link up in the description. All right, so with our big list of keywords, we need to narrow it down to keywords that are actually worth going after. And to determine this, you can use a 3-point checklist, with the first checkpoint being search demand. Now, this is easy because keyword research tools show you the number of monthly searches for a given keyword. And all you want to do is just make sure that there's a decent number of monthly searches and that there's some consistency month over month. But the second checkpoint is actually much more important, and that's to choose keywords that you have a realistic chance of ranking for. And while there's no definitive way to quantify this, a simple rule you can set for yourself is to only compete for keywords where websites of a similar authority are already ranked. To figure this out, go to our free website authority checker and type in your domain to check your website's level of so-called authority. For example, my guitar site is pretty new and has a domain rating, or DR, of just 1. Now, whatever your site's DR is, add 10 to it. And that number is kind of arbitrary, but it sets an upper threshold to ensure that you're only competing against websites in the same league as you, at least for now. Now, let's take this number back to our big list of keywords. And I'm gonna set a lowest DR filter with a value up to our upper threshold number and hit apply. And if we expand the search results for one of these keywords, you'll see that there are indeed pages ranking here in the top 5 with low website authority scores. Now, given that you can execute on the rest of the SEO puzzle, you will rank for keywords that get searched regularly, and therefore, you can easily get to 10,000 monthly visits. But before we get to solving the rest of the SEO puzzle, we need to talk about the
You see where he's talking about how the low domain authority doesn't necessarily have to impact your ability to rank for a given term. It's just going to impact your ability to rank for how your impact ranks in comparison to another website at that level. Is why another reason why I'm not so stressed about whether or not I'm have a high domain authority in a moment, because that can change, and it's also always in relation to what is Google perceiving you as associated with at that time, and you get to control who the fuck you're associated with. So if there's people linking to you that you don't want to be associated with, you create a spreadsheet, you tell Google, I don't know those bitches. And so that's what's happening with me, because I had created an affiliate program and I have an affiliate portal for that. And from that affiliate portal, I think people have signed up through my program. I need to make sure it's set so you can't just find me on the affiliate portal or sign up just to sign up, because I think that people found me, from trying to sign up for affiliate programs, and then they just create URLs and link to me that way for content. You know what I'm saying? So what I need to do now is lock down my affiliate program so people can't fucking do that, because when I'm trying to say that I don't want people in my affiliate program, it's not that I don't want people in my affiliate program, it's that this is what I'm dealing with. So I don't want to deal with this anymore. I still want to have an affiliate program. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. But when I start bitching about the affiliate program, that's the shit I'm bitching about. But yeah, so this is the type of shit where it's like, okay, well, if you don't have traction, if you don't have visitors, this is what the fuck you can do. But also, the amount of visitors you have impacts your domain authority. So at times that you're running ads, you can have a higher domain authority, but then if you stop running those ads, you stop paying for the domain authority you're working towards, because when you get that sudden drop in your traffic, if you can't keep that up, which is part of also what I think contributed to mine, then that impacts it as well. Because if you saw the reports for yourself, so If you go look on my site and you look at the reports and you know about SEO, then there's nothing that I'm inherently doing wrong to have a lower domain authority, with the exception of those possible links that stood out to me, which I feel can be resolved through the affiliate program and through the link disavow, which is why we're going to do that. And you're going to see, I'm assuming we're going to see what happens together. But yeah, fucking, let's watch this shit.
Third checkpoint for keyword research, which is all about choosing keywords with business value. Go and look through your list of keywords, and for each one, ask yourself, would someone searching for this topic be interested in my product or service? For example, if my guitar education site sells courses or private lessons, a keyword like how to play F chord on guitar is definitely going to attract my ideal customer. So would keywords like how much are guitar lessons? What is a guitar riff? And so on. These keywords all hit this sweet spot, so they're worth going after. Now, a keyword like what is the most expensive guitar in the world? It has some search demand and it's possible to rank for, but it doesn't exactly sound like something a potential customer will be searching for. So go through your entire list, save the good keywords that check all points,
and you're ready to go to unlock the second piece of the SEO puzzle, which is to match the intent of the searcher.
Google's job is to give searchers the most relevant results to any given query. This means that the pages ranking in the top 3 positions are what Google believes searchers want to see for that query. For example, if I search for how much do guitar lessons cost, you'll see that Google shows the answer directly in the search results. And if we click into that page, you'll see the author gives you the answer within the first 10 words of the blog post because they understand that that's what searchers want. Now, copying what the top ranking page did doesn't mean you'll outrank them. Matching the searcher's intent by providing a price range fast is just a prerequisite to even have a chance at ranking. But if you go a step further and think about what else the searcher might want to know, you may be able to give yourself an edge. Like, what determines this price range? How do I know if a teacher is actually good? What can I expect to learn in the first few lessons? And is it going to be worth my money? These are subtopics that you want to cover in your post so you can make it as comprehensive as possible, because ultimately, we want to give visitors the best possible experience so they either convert or leave satisfied with the answer they got. So when creating content, go in with a general mindset to immediately satisfy the primary desire for your visitor, and then continue to satisfy their next 5 questions. And if you do that, while nailing the more technical parts of content writing for SEO, which we've got a step-by-step tutorial for, then you will definitely be able to nail this piece of the SEO puzzle. But in all honesty, there's usually not a whole lot you can do to be better than competitors for factual informational topics like how much do guitar lessons cost or how to play F chord on guitar.
And that's where the 2 missing pieces to the SEO puzzle are going to give you an edge, with a third piece being backlinks.
Backlinks are when a web page links to another page on a different website, and links have been one of Google's most prominent ranking signals from the beginning. And if you're not getting a lot of traffic now, a lack of links is likely a big part of the reason why. So let's fix that and start by getting links to the easiest page on your site, the homepage. Now, the first tactic you can use is podcast link building. And because podcast hosts usually have a website, they often link to the guest's homepage and socials on an episode page. So by getting interviewed, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself a link. Just go to Google and search for best, whatever your niche is, podcast. Then click through to some relevant pages. See if there are any podcasts that you might be a good guest on, and then contact the host with your pitch. The second tactic you can use is listicle link building. And this is when you try to get mentioned in best of lists in your niche. So I'll go to Google and search for best online guitar lessons. And I'll click through to this page. And all I'm gonna do is look for a reason why my site would be a good fit for their post. So as an example, if this site changed from a free to a paid model, I could reach out to the author to let them know and suggest my site as a replacement with free.
So here's one thing I will say about this is like, for me, for myself, when I write blogs, I don't just write blogs and link to shit. Like when I write blogs, I'm writing about my lived experiences, talking about things that I've actually read or done or used. So when people contact me asking me to include something in my content, in my opinion, that's going to be something that I then need to put the labor into understanding, making sure that I align with it, and perhaps trying myself if it's something that I should be representing in a way as if I'm recommending it or have used it, or as if it's a source for something I've done. I'm not going to act like something is a source for me if it isn't. And so that's labor for me. So with bigger companies, maybe they don't give a shit that because they've got people that it's not a big deal to pay somebody that hourly to do that. But for me, or for a lot of businesses, it's, in my opinion, you're kind of asking for free advertising. And so I always reply back with pricing. Um, and that's just kind of how I am, because I'm not about to do free labor for someone. But then if I write about you organically, that's organic. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want me to cover something for free, I do have a request option for that. That's for my video content, because it's easier for me to mentally react in real time, perhaps through a video, to something that I'm seeing versus take the time to process and put the labor into writing it out. You know, um, because for me, when I write, it's not about selling something. It's about telling my story and telling what I'm going through. And discussing what has worked for me and what doesn't. And so for me, it's like I'm not about to put something on my blog that, and a lot of people can be that way. I know, I don't think most people are. I know not everybody is. I'm just saying, I know others like me too who feel that way too with how personal their content is to them. So, with people like us, it's like kind of like if you're asking us to do free work for you, don't be surprised if anyone's like, yeah, fuck that, fuck you, or, people who just don't respond, because that is mental workload. But I do think it can be a good idea another way in terms of cold contacting. You're going to have a conversion rate. You're going to get some people who do say yes, so it will work out for you. But at the same time, be very careful with your messaging, with how you ask and what you say if when they respond, because with a lot of people, because this happens to me all the time because I have a blog, so I get emails constantly with people asking me to link to them on my blog. And with most people, it's just like, yeah, I know you're shooting your shot. That's what we do. But with certain people, I can be a bitch when I don't like what the fuck they say to me, because I'll just be like, you know what, bitch, fuck you. Stop asking me for free shit. All right, I said no. And I told you how much I charge for this fucking shit. Don't fucking argue with me about it. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That is how I can be, because if it's just more of like a, hey, just fucking asking, just out at sea, dip my toe in the water, I'm like, chill. I would too. I get it. But then when you start pushing me after I told you it's either no or pay, that's when I'm like, bro, fucking boundaries. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And that's what I don't understand with business. In business, it's often excused to push your consent under the disguise of it's just business. And in my opinion, it's like, no, fuck you. I'm a goddamn human. Um, so you know what I mean? But no, he's still like saying a lot of good shit. For marketing in general, with following the roadmap, creating a plan, getting found online, and reaching out to people to network and develop connections that will put you out there to get found online and increase your backlinks. And it is a good PR strategy for those who need help and don't have money, you know? Um, and yeah, and I think if you include that in your content too, then yeah, you're way more likely to get a backlink. Like if you're like, hey man, look, I'm a struggling artist, it would just be super tight if you could link to me or something like that. Versus when you're a multi-million dollar law firm reaching out to me, asking me to promote you for free, I'm probably gonna be like, yo, bitch, you gotta pay me for that. But if you're like a struggling artist who needs help, yeah, what the fuck can I do for you? You know what I mean? That's like how I am personally, because for me, the difference is in exploitation. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really need help, or are you exploiting labor? You know what I mean? And you can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So if you ever get a bad response from someone, it just wasn't the day to try them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Free forever online lessons. Now, the final method you can use is to reverse engineer your competitors' backlinks. So again, assuming Justin Guitar is a similar site to mine, I'll take that URL and put it into Ahrefs' free backlink checker. I'll set the mode to exact URL since we're looking for homepage backlinks and run the search. And right away, you'll see up to 100 backlinks pointing at that page. At least
I want to say not only is this a great idea for whenever you want to have your website be and rank like somebody else's, but also um what he is doing with showing you how to use their platform through this video, I think is amazing advertising in and of itself.
in the free backlink checker. But the full version of this report in Site Explorer will show you thousands more backlinks with plenty of filters to narrow down your list of prospects. For example, I can search for the word best in the titles of linking pages, and in just a few seconds, I'll find over 200 pages that Justin Guitar has mentioned and linked on, which are opportunities for me.
Now, homepage backlinks are just foundational, and every site should build them if they don't already have them. But I have two harsh truths for you. Harsh truth number one, you're going to need backlinks to the actual pages you want to rank. And harsh truth number two, it's not easy to get backlinks, especially to mundane pages like how to play the F chord on guitar. But the good news is that you can.
Yeah, I love how he's like, yeah, it's not easy to get backlinks. And then it's like how to play F chord on guitar. And then I'm like, I wonder if someone ever asked anybody, hey, can you promote my blog, how to play F chord on guitar? And then they respond, how about you go F yourself, bitch? But you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Okay.
Can still rank high in Google for some topics without direct links to your pages. And that's done by unlocking the fourth piece of the SEO puzzle, site structure.
Your website is connected via internal links, which are hyperlinks from one page on your website to another page on the same site. And when it's mapped out, it kind of resembles a mind map, which helps both search engines and users navigate through your site. Now, not only is site structure important for user.
Okay, so you're see how to talk about the mind map and the site structure. That leads to structured data, which is going to be the next thing we want. Structured data is basically a snippet of code in the back end of your website that gives context for the keywords you're trying to rank for. So say you're trying to rank for Apple. Well, the back end data is going to tell Google whether or not you're referring to the computer or the fruit, for example. So, I just wanted to put that out there because that's actually like because I really like the visual there, and I feel like that's a good kind of segue into the next video we're going to end up watching as well.
Experience, but internal links are the only type of backlink that's guaranteed because you are in full control of your site. And the reason why they're helpful, from an SEO standpoint at least, is because of how backlinks work. So backlinks essentially give power to a page through something called PageRank. Basically, if a page has tons of quality links pointing at it, that page's PageRank increases, making it more authoritative in the eyes of Google. Now, if that page links to two other pages, it's actually able to pass some of that PageRank, which also helps to power those pages too. And if that page links to two other pages, then it's possible that more residual value can be passed down, but to a lesser degree. Now, if you carefully structure your internal links, you can maximize the impact of your site's backlinks while giving users a great experience with your content. For example, I might create a page on guitar chords, and on that page, I'd link to all relevant pages like how to play A chord, B chord, C chord, etc. So PageRank can be passed via internal links as these pages earn backlinks.
Now, rinsing and repeating the steps in SEO can easily help you reach 10,000 monthly visits and can actually take you into the millions of monthly visits depending on your niche. But getting traffic through search engines shouldn't be your end game. And this takes us to stage 3. Diversify your traffic sources.
When you put all your traffic in one basket, whether that's the Google, social media, or whatever basket, you're taking on unnecessary risk. Any of these platforms can take away your traffic overnight, be it through an algorithm update.
You see, what he's explaining right now is exactly why my domain authority dropped. And because I had put all of my domain authority into the basket of social media, and from that, whenever I lost my community and I had all those issues, I haven't checked my domain authority since before all of that, to be real. I feel like that can also play a factor in between that and the affiliate program issues where I have random bitches linking to me and they're not even part of the fucking program. Like, what? So, things like that all factor in as well. I don't know.
A platform update, or even a shadow ban. And as unjust as it might feel, they have every right to do it unapologetically. But the good news is that you aren't starting from scratch anymore because
Now, I know I'm not shadow banned because I'm still getting rankings and people are still like linking to me in those whatever little lists you saw that I was listed on somehow. So because of that, I know I'm not shadow banned. And because it was showing that I still rank for specific terms, that wouldn't happen if I was shadow banned. So yeah, but fucking it just kind of goes to show like how quick these things can happen, and there's always so many adjustments in the algorithm as well. Plus recently I've added a lot of plugins and like different little APIs and things on my website, and I bet that all really slowed it all down too, but I kind of don't want to take that shit off. So I feel like some of the stuff that I've put on my website for visual aesthetic reasons are going to keep it running slow. That might keep my overall SEO on a lower authority. But I really do think if we clean up some of those linking issues from the bitches trying to be on my affiliate team, then that I never approved to be on it, then fucking we can clean that right up too, because that's what I think is partly harming my shit. But you see, that's why this is good content, because the shit he's saying is then giving me ideas for my shit and making me want to go do it. And that's how you know you have a really good marketer to learn from. Whenever you're watching their shit and you're like, yeah, this is what the fuck I need to be doing for my fucking shit. Yeah, bitch. So, those are the type of people I think you should follow for yourself.
your SEO machine should be doing its job, sending you consistent and compounding traffic.
Now, unlike before, when we chose just one traffic source, this is a good time to test multiple traffic sources. But there's a couple things that you should consider before choosing. Number one, your target audience should spend time on whichever platform you're trying to get traffic from. And number two, you'll want to choose low effort traffic sources with high reward potential. And I want to expand on this a bit, starting with the low effort part.
Now, because our traffic foundation was built with SEO, you should have a ton of content on your site that can be repurposed to different platforms. For example, this post on 56 Google search stats is a perfect piece of content to repurpose into a Twitter thread and LinkedIn post, two platforms where our target audience spends a lot of time. Now, this post on finding competitor keywords can also be repurposed for Twitter and LinkedIn, but it'd probably be better as a YouTube video, another platform where our target audience spends time. Now, whichever traffic sources you try, give them a fair shot, learning from each previous attempt. And as you do this, you're going to notice that you're better at creating content for some platforms than others, and that other platforms have disproportionate effort to reward ratios. And once you identify the best platforms to expand to, focus your efforts there while keeping the SEO train still running. Now, one of the best ways to grow fast is to network with a group of like-minded marketers and business owners. And there's no better place to do that than in Singapore. In October, we'll be hosting our
Alright, I'm not going to watch the rest of that video because I think it's just a little ad for their Singapore thing. But I really want to say I think this is a great video because, you know, another reason that I have a lower traffic, I mean, not lower traffic, well, lower traffic is a reason I have a lower domain authority. And so that's why fucking this is literally the roadmap that I would need to follow in order to improve my ranking on top of cleaning up the potential issues that could be preventing me from ranking that we found just now. So this is why I think it's so important to show. And you may be thinking to yourself, why the fuck would I listen to this bitch if she's a fucking joke? And to that I say, if I'm a fucking joke but I'm still doing fucking fine, then imagine how great you can do if you're better than me. You know what I'm saying? So just think of it that way. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So fucking now we're gonna just react to this. I've never seen. I'm usually watching their Whiteboard Fridays. I wanted to watch something that was the same amount of time, but you know what? No, let's do it.
The
Let's do
whole
it. I
point of
said
the
in my
campaign.
heart I wanted to do this, so let's do it. Let's just start. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. It's supposed to be about from the okay, we're watching a Super Bowl ad that, and the pressure for return on investment. They don't make any fucking money. Let's be real. And fucking, let's see what numbers they show us. And then I'm gonna do a follow-up live stream about if the Super Bowl ads are profitable. I'm gonna do, so now we got 2 follow-ups planned. I'm gonna do a work with me series session to show you guys how I handle my domain SEO issues, and then I'm also gonna be doing, now I want to do a Super Bowl, like how much money does the Super Bowl fucking ROI on Super Bowl ads. So let's write that down. Great. Writing it down, make sure I get that done. So, yeah, let's see what the fuck they're saying. Shit. I was bitching about, like, I didn't want to do it because it's going to be so long, but fucking shut the fuck up already. You'd already be a few minutes in. Damn. Alright, let's fucking do it. Oh, god damn it. I didn't mean to fucking hit that. My bad. Fuck it. Whoops. Okay, alright. Let's do this for real. My bad.
Campaign was to trick the world into thinking this new film was coming out. It gave us an hour to get that page ranking.
What the fuck kind of ad is that? The point of a campaign is to trick people. This is why people don't trust marketers. What? Alright. I'm trying not to be judgmental. Let's watch.
At the top of the search results,
1 hour.
it just was a natural fit really for SEO to actually play a role in it.
If you've been keeping up with SEO updates, then you probably know that keyword research must align with search intent or it just doesn't work. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Identifying funnel-based intent might look simple, but quickly becomes complicated as search intent evolves. How do you know when search intent changes? What if a commercial keyword is actually an informational keyword? Rather than playing guesswork, our new Keyword Explorer powered by AI simplifies your research with high-value keywords optimized for search intents. Whether your goal is to generate revenue with commercial keywords or educate your audience with informational content, Moz AI helps you maximize every dollar out of your SEO budget to achieve your marketing goals. Hi, and welcome to another episode of MozPod. My guest today is Catherine Lux. Catherine Lux is a content marketer with over a decade of experience working on global businesses, in agencies and brand sides in both London and Sydney. She also spent 3 years leading content at Google before becoming head of content at another global tech company. Today, we're talking about how schema markup helped Tourism Australia fool the world with their $36 million Super Bowl ad. Catherine, welcome to Mospod.
Thanks for having me.
I'm just going to head in there. Where did the initial idea of creating a fake Crocodile Dundee movie trailer come from? Like, walk us through that process, that whole brainstorming process.
I'm interested to see where this is gonna go because I don't understand how the fuck they're like, yeah, man, we sold shit because we tricked you bitches. Ha ha ha, this is funny. Is that because I'm fucked up and I gotta stick up my ass or something? Or is it because what the fuck is wrong with capitalism? I don't know. But let's watch.
Of this unconventional approach.
Yeah, so it was when I was working at Reprise Digital in Sydney. Tourism Australia was our client. And they basically had this issue where American tourists weren't really visiting Australia because
I know that in New Zealand they're having issues with how people in New Zealand mistreat native people. I wonder if the same is true in Australia. I'm assuming it is. Um, so, hmm. I wonder how they feel about tourism. Uh, okay.
they incorrectly thought that they needed a whole month to visit Australia. And obviously, a lot of Americans only get 10 days of holiday a year. So people just weren't really visiting Australia. The numbers had been going down year on year. So tourism.
I am in a Girls Love Travel Facebook group and I've never fucking heard this shit. Let's look. Hold on. I've never heard that shit before in my life from anyone. I actually know someone who is from Australia. Never heard that shit in my life. Let's look. I'm also in a deaf travel group. Never heard that before there either. Is that really a thing or y'all just making some shit up? 3-ish weeks. I don't know. This shit doesn't really show you in timeline. It's showing you me on minutes. Yeah, let's go with most recent. Here we go. So you seem to have a lot of people, that seem to be going. So I've never heard of shit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Australia faced with this task to increase American tourists. And American tourists are also the highest spending tourists. So they basically got together with our sister agency, and their creative agency, Droga5, and they all got in a room and had this huge brainstorm and came up with this incredible.
I'm just saying, like, I don't travel because I have no fucking money and I've never had a passport and shit like that. And I just am in groups because I'm curious and things like that. But fucking, yeah, I feel like income disparity and and recovering from COVID have more to do with the drop in tourism than someone, I don't know, from my perspective in a way. But whatever. So I just have a completely different lived experience with the reason they are giving for their logic behind the campaign, as if it's a standard experience. And I get that just because I don't have lived experience on an issue doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I'm just saying that it's hard for me to process the existence of something I have no lived experience on. And let that be a lesson to all of us to apply to everything.
Idea to basically fool the world into thinking that a new Crocodile Dundee film was coming out. And very fortunately, we were asked to be part of it as the SEO team. And obviously, usually SEO teams are brought in at
I still am curious as to how this marketing plan works. We're like, yeah. Hey guys, a new movie's coming out. Everybody's like, really? Nah, bitches, but come give us your fucking money. Like, what? Okay, alright.
the very end. So it's usually too late to really do much by then. But thankfully, we were brought in very kind of close to the start of it all. So we had about 6 months to plan everything, get it all in place, and really be part of the process, which was amazing.
That is so distinct because, like you said, in most projects, you don't even think of SEO when you're talking about creative content
Yeah.
tasks or anything like that. So do you think like that was part of the key reasons why the project was successful? The fact that they brought in SEO from the planning stages to be in the room to have like input on what can we do from an SEO standpoint to make this creative project a success?
100%. It was, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think it was instrumental in the success of that campaign purely because there were so many kind of things along the way that could have derailed the success of it. And it was the strategies that we came up with within SEO that sort of saved those things derailing. And also, you know, because we had such a close relationship with both the client and our sister agency, it was just a really strong working group. We were very lucky that the client had a lot of trust in us. We'd built up a really close relationship with them. I was working very closely with the team at anyway. So when we were brought into it, it just was a natural fit, really.
So I do want to keep listening to everything they have to say, but my best friend just came home with some Burger King for me. So what we're gonna do is double this bitch up. I'm gonna test it on 2x speed, but if that's too fast, I'm gonna lower it down back to 1.5 or 1.75. So I'm still trying to process because right now they're still kind of in more of the talking about how they got brought on to the project stage. So I'm still interested in processing how the fuck the ad campaign occurred, which I'm assuming it's all connected, of course. Whoops, shit, just got my goddamn bottle. Oh fuck, I don't want to say it right anymore. Shit, fuck. Okay, so fucking so bitch, damn, what the fuck was I saying? So fucking yeah, we're gonna try this shit on 2x speed. And what I do think this is interesting to see for the lead acquisition in terms of closing the deal and understanding how did they take the meeting with the client and get onto the project. I do think that's interesting for anyone to consider in terms of just general lead acquisition strategy and understanding, you know, with lead acquisition, closing the deal once the lead is generated. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that part is also interesting in that reflection in terms of they closed the deal by getting on board the project by being okay with the plan. And I think that's a lot of reasons why people don't work out in work relationships when you can't get on board with each other's plan due to value misalignment. Um, so yeah, all right, let's try this on 2x speed. And then I'm gonna go eat my goddamn fucking fast food because you know what? Fuck being healthy. I need to be healthy. We're working on that shit. All right.
For SEO to actually play a role in it and help with the success of the campaign.
So can you describe the
Oh shit! I forgot to take the echo off, but she was basically saying some shit about the success of the campaign. I'm gonna lower that down to 1.75 instead of 2x because I feel like that was a little too fast. And hope we'll test this out. And I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
challenge of managing SEO for a campaign meant to deceive, in a good way, meant to deceive the public into thinking a new movie was being released?
The biggest challenge was that the whole point of the campaign was to trick the world into thinking this new film was coming out. And then during the Super Bowl, there was going to be this big switch. So it would switch from being a movie trailer to a tourism advert. And obviously, because of that, we had to kind of make sure that Tourism Australia had absolutely no involvement with the film. So there was a lot with the planning process. Fortunately,
to me, that feels very disconnected. and I'm interested to see, like, I'm gonna do in my like ROI on Super Bowl ads theory. I also want to see if I can find out as much as possible on if I can about the Fake Crocodile Dundee ad, what I can find about that, because I'm interested. And it's not that I want to be talking shit about these people, but it's just that from what I know, and I'm gonna show you guys why I think this with sources later. I just didn't come prepared for them because I didn't really plan this that well. But fucking yeah, this shit is a joke. Fucking oops, I'm just spraying this shit in my face. That is hilarious. I'm a joke. I'm a mess. That's fine. I'm a goddamn human. The fuck was I saying, man? Fuck. Shit. Let's just watch this shit. Uh, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think y'all see and understand like why I've always been taught. You know, like Super Bowl ads are a waste of money, and they're just literally a fucking dick measuring contest. So, um, but anyway,
we had quite a few agencies working on it. So things like the Google Ads account was obviously run through the agency. We had the microsite, which was dundeemovie.com. And that was the movie website that we used for it, so that kind of nothing was on the Tourism Australia website. However, we obviously needed to drive traffic to the Tourism Australia website as soon as the Super Bowl advert went live. So the biggest challenge was having to figure out how we got a brand new landing page on Tourism Australia ranking as soon as that advert went live, and not have it discovered beforehand, if that makes sense. So like,
I understand. Basically, like keep it in like put it on the download.
Yeah.
Make sure that the website that is public facing right now, the fake movie website is ranking.
Exactly.
And then after the Super Bowl ad, get the one with the landing page to Tourism Australia, picking up all that traffic.
Yeah, and I had to pick it up immediately.
So how did you move that from this fake website to the Tourism Australia landing page? What did you guys do to make sure that you're taking that traffic?
Yeah, so basically we planned to launch the landing page on the Tourism Australia website an hour before the Super Bowl ad went live. So it gave us an hour to get that page ranking at the top of the search results.
1 hour.
1 hour, yeah.
That's insane.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Like I was in the war room with the senior leadership of Tourism Australia, with Adobe, with the key people. Thankfully,
the only way to rank at the top in 1 hour is paid ads. Like, what is that? And unless she tells us the plan, that's all I can think that she could have done. You know what I mean? Like, what? Besides your own branded name, and it would have to be very specific in order to immediately rank. You know, like, it typically takes 3 to 6 months to complete a Google ranking, because Google bots don't even crawl. Google bots don't even crawl that often, and you have to get crawled by a Google bot in order to get ranked as well. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're doing something like with YouTube or like paid advertising where it's automatically synced, 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 with Google, then fucking like you're not gonna rank immediately. Like what? Like maybe I'll do some ranking in Google in 1 hour. Maybe I'll look into that, and maybe I'm just being bitter and whatever. But I just feel like that's an unrealistic expectation to set with someone, that they're gonna organically rank in 1 hour. If you have bitches thinking that, that's gonna fuck marketers' days up everywhere. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that's potentially an unrealistic expectation, unless it's paid per click. You know what I'm saying?
we had a whole load of backlinks to the microsite. We created this landing page on the Tourism Australia website. We set it live an hour beforehand. We then did a 301 redirect from the microsite to that landing page. I then added a link to that landing page in the footer of the Tourism Australia website and the top 5 performing pages on the site as well. We didn't want it in the nav bar, in the top nav bar, because we were worried that if anybody went onto the website and saw it, they would see it before the advert was released. So we kind of had to be sneaky and do some kind of like grey hat techniques with the footer link. And then thankfully it worked, started ranking. I obviously submitted it to Search Console and asked Google to crawl it and index it, and it worked. And we had a 900% organic uplift in bookings and booking inquiries to the website.
Wow.
So it worked. It was great.
So they just put the link on something that was already ranking, is what she's saying. That's a different thing, though, than saying that you made it rank immediately. Like, you didn't make it rank alone immediately. You put it on something that was already ranking, and that's how it ranked. But the first statement's a bit misleading. And even though it explains the end result, that when you say, you know, that's not what was actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky.
but it was stressful.
I can't even imagine 1 hour to get a website ranking.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the website, the fake movie websites, because I find that very interesting. You successfully implemented movie schema markup to make the website rank high in SERPs for relevant searches. What kind of relevant searches, and how did you even get that website ranking? A fake website, nonetheless.
Fake
Google
website.
to get it ranking.
Yeah, we fooled Google. We also got the knowledge graph, the knowledge panel. It was amazing. Like, basically, when we started planning it, obviously we had about 6 months in advance to plan it out, but it was quite close to the launch date that we found out the whole website would be built on JavaScript, and we couldn't change that. So then we had to kind of pivot a little bit and think, okay, how are we going to get this microsite to rank? It's a brand new website. It's only going to be live for 2 to 3 weeks, and it's all built on JavaScript. So I went into panic mode, and I literally called my boss and my 2 managers. I was like, guys, we need a meeting right now. So we went into one of the meeting rooms and we just brainstormed, how can we do this? We might have to be a bit black hat about it. And then I just thought, why don't we try movie schema?
I don't like that she's admitting that she's going to be black hat about it. Because black hat SEO is doing bad, and based on the airflow in the house, my door will kind of open and close by itself, which is why I have that box on the floor and I'll push it in front of the door. But then my roommate opened the door earlier. I don't know. But fucking yeah, I forgot to put that back. But anyway, what I was saying, the fact that she's over here joking about the concept of maybe I'll just do some black hat SEO. Maybe it's a joke because you're being sarcastic and you wouldn't really do it. But when you're saying that to people who don't really know you, hi, I'm doing a live stream. When you're saying that to people who don't really fucking know you, and you're trying to fucking market yourself, like, that's just fucked up. Like, that's not something you're gonna trust. And I don't like the idea of perpetuating that message out there unless you're clearly being like, I'm just fucking kidding. That's not a good idea. Like, if she doesn't follow up with that shit, like, I know she's following up with let's do movie schema instead, but she's not clarifying that that's absolutely a bad thing to do, and she was absolutely just kidding. It kind of comes off as she's laughing off the concept of doing it as if she's done it before. Like, it's more of a defense mechanism than a coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like every marketer has been in a situation where their boss has asked them to do black hat SEO, but HAT. But fucking to joke about it, big, yeah, let's just do that. Like, that's your plan. That's your go-to strategy. Makes me kind of question your ethics, to be real. But okay. And then I don't even like the concept of using movie schema. Because you're promoting a fake movie, I guess it fucking works. But to use movie schema to promote a fake movie to rank for tourism is just feels very colonial, because the way colonizers grabbed land or by violating fucking treaties. You know what the fuck I'm saying? So yeah, let's just keep the land grabbing profitable by continuing to trick bitches. Yeah, let's perpetuate some shit. I don't know. Am I? Oh, here comes the you're overthinking it. It's not that deep crowd in my head is what I usually get for saying shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. All right.
We also had been talking to our sister agency, about creating the IMDb page. And so then we thought, okay, if we can get that, if we can also get the movie schema implemented, maybe we can then get it ranking, but also have a knowledge panel, which obviously then makes it look even more legit as a movie. So that's what we did. So I wrote the movie schema myself. We submitted it to the creative agency. They uploaded it, along with obviously meta title and description, the standard things. And then, yeah, within a few days, we had that knowledge panel and it was listing the cast. We also had the IMDb page. The creative agency also managed to update the Dundee Wikipedia page as well. And even today, that
So yeah, fucking they didn't just make it rank by organic SEO in terms of using ethical strategies. She literally admitted they made it rank because their campaign was to lie. The reason that didn't harm them was that was a short-term plan, and that didn't stay up. But if that was a long-term staying up, part of Google is literally you're not supposed to be misleading people, and you're supposed to have value alignment between what you say you're putting out is what people are going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything they're doing is against Google policies in a way, and they're kind of like admitting it. I accidentally put fucking cream on my hair twice because I forgot. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, when I get interrupted on a routine, I kind of fuck up sometimes. But if I'm in a routine, I do really well if I have a flow. I don't know. But yeah, fucking, I don't like this person. I typically really like Ma's Whiteboard Friday videos, and I wish that I watched one of those. I didn't watch one of those because I was like, no, let's watch a longer video. Give them both the same amount of content, the same amount of response, even if I decided to speed this one up. But now I kind of wish I watched a Whiteboard Friday video because I know for a fact that those are educational, and I would have given something that I probably would have liked, felt more value aligned with. But there's just something about the way she's talking about this strategy and the premise of the strategy being on misleading people that's just really bothering me. I don't know. But let's keep watching this shit.
Knowledge panel's still there. So if you Google Dundee movie, it still shows up.
I'll get to that IMDb in a bit, but two things. I just want to put as a sidebar that I love the fact that SEO can contribute in massive ways to creative work because we don't really see examples of that because SEO always seems too technical. This thing that exists.
Also, the concept of where she's like, oh yeah, we made it rank in one day. Or in 1 hour is very misleading too, because I know that where she's explaining all of these things, unless you have several people there to all do this, it's not possible to get that amount of work done in 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? So then she's talking about a large amount of planning and preparation that went into it. So the website may have gone live at a certain time and then it ranked 1 hour later, but that wasn't just 1 hour of work, it was months of work leading up to the process. And the reason it ranked was because it was put onto other things that were already ranking. And so in certain ways, yeah, we can take the lessons that work from people, even if we don't have value alignment, we can take those lessons and apply it what would work for us in a way we do have value alignment with. But on another level, the strategy, I don't agree with. Even if theoretically she's also applying principles I do agree with and think, yeah, we can do this, we can do that, that explains this. She's also, even the things that I agree with in terms of theoretically I would do, the way she's talking about having done those things, I find misleading as well. And I get that part of marketing is to sell something, but on another level, selling something doesn't mean misrepresenting it. And I don't think that she is as upfront as she should be about what it is she's doing, because she's trying to make it, she's more focused on making it sound better with like a headline with a wow effect over being realistic about expectations, about how to teach people to achieve the same result, but also know what they can expect on average, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Behind the screen. So it's just amazing to see it be like parts of a very creative process and have these incredible results.
Yeah.
So did you encounter any obstacles with search engines or schema validation tools, given the fictional nature of the movie?
Thankfully not. However, we did obviously have a lot of comments online that was kind of talking about whether it was real or not. And it was that microsite and the IMDb page that convinced people that it was real. There were definitely still people that were commenting on Reddit and saying, I don't think it's real. Why are they using this random American actor? But for the most part, it definitely worked. And yeah, I would say there were so many people who were so excited for that film to come out. And the disappointment when they figured out that it was an advert, there was like an actual petition. There was an online petition to make the film. I did sign it. I also wanted the film made. I
don't get what's funny about this. Is that because I'm neuro vibing? I know everybody's like, it's funny because it didn't really happen, but I don't get where it's like, yeah, it's hilarious how we made you guys think something was gonna happen, but we're not actually fucking doing it. We just want your money. That's what I hate about capitalism and society. It's like, this is what people like about each other? God damn, is this why I fucking hate people? Shit, man, fuck you guys. What the fuck is this? Like, why are we like this? What? Anyway, this is just one of those times where I just feel so disconnected from people because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bitches?
I was so desperate for that film to come out, but sadly they
Oh
still
my
haven't done
gosh.
it. Yeah.
Did you have to collaborate with IMDb to create the page?
Yeah.
What was that process like?
I mean, luckily I didn't have to do the negotiating, but and Droga5, they worked really closely with IMDb to kind of convince them to do it. But it did require negotiating. It wasn't a simple case of just creating a page. They did have to get like special permission from them.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
I read some comments on YouTube when I went to watch the fake promo. Obviously, I already knew that wasn't real, but I was just reading comments and I was laughing. I was having like a really good laugh.
Yeah.
So how did audiences react to finding the movie on IMDb, and what did impact did this have on the campaign success, good or bad? Because you already told me that people were signing petitions. How did that impact the movie's Why do I keep calling it a movie? The trailers.
See, even you're convinced.
Exactly. Even I'm convinced. The campaign. How did it lead? How did it impact the campaign success?
It was really funny actually because there were there were 3 videos leading up to the ad spot in the Super Bowl that were released. I think it was 3 weeks ahead of the Super Bowl. And so there were 2 teaser trailers and then a full length trailer. And when the first trailer came out, we were so excited. All of us were in the office sitting there waiting for it to launch and waiting for all the comments and the press and everything. And when we did see the comments, so many people were commenting like, "How is this real? This can't be real. It's been so long since the original." And like, "Oh, what a weird cast," because they used Danny McBride as the kind of long lost son. And so a lot of the kind of questions around whether it was real was based on the choice of actor. But then a lot of people were then obviously Googling it, finding the microsite, finding the IMDb page, and then were commenting back and saying, "Well, there's an IMDb page. It must be real. There's a website. There's a website. It must be real." And then at the end of the trailers, they had the Ringfire Films production company logo, which Paul Hogan had given them permission to use. And then that again kind of, people were saying, "Well, it's the original production company that made the original Crocodile Dundee films. It must be real." And there were all these little things that kind of made people think, well, it has to be real if all these things have happened. But the whole time, there were definitely still people who were doubting it. And obviously they were right. But it was so disappointing reading those comments because we were like, "Oh my gosh, why are they not believing this?" And like because of the timing as well, because it was only less than a month till the Super Bowl, there were some people who were saying this must be something to do with the Super Bowl. But thankfully, from memory, I don't think anyone actually sussed that it was Tourism Australia. So that's okay. We did our job.
So what were the key metrics of success for this campaign?
Yeah, so the main things were the booking inquiries. So on the Tourism Australia website, they basically have a section on there where you can kind of click through to external booking providers, tour operators, and start booking your trip. So the majority of goals were around that, especially for the SEO side of things. And then backlinks wise as well, obviously that was part of trying to get the site to rank so quickly and the page to rank so quickly. So from memory, I think we got over 2,000 backlinks in 3 weeks, but there were something crazy like 16,000 pieces of coverage around the world on the campaign. And it was the most searched for campaign that year for that Super Bowl. So the numbers were crazy. And obviously it cost $36 million. And I think the creative agency reported at the time that they had received nearly $90 million worth of organic media coverage. So that like what would have been the equivalent media spend for that level of coverage would have been like $90 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a massive success. That is a massive, massive, massive success.
Yeah. It was Tourism Australia.
The most successful campaign you ever have is when you trick people into coming to you. In my opinion, is probably like that's interesting. So I'm gonna look into what I can find on the campaign, what I can find on results for the ad spend, the potential revenue, and everything like that, and the history of why it's often been said that Super Bowl ads can be a waste of money. I'm gonna pull up and prep on that material, and that will be a live stream coming up. Yeah, so there are things that we can take from this in terms of how they building out their landing page, because when you listen to the steps that she did, besides the fact that she tricked people, if you take the backlink approach that she's doing, thought that could be a good strategy to do. Whenever she's saying she made a page rank in 1 hour, she did say in the live stream that the page, they had 1 hour to launch the landing page, but all of the work she's explaining, that can't happen in just an hour. That takes a long time to prepare for and build and develop and put out. You know what I'm saying? So there is some misleading there. Like she's trying to make this punchline as if this was all done in an hour. That's not possible. I just want to make that clear. Like production on the ad alone is not going to be in less than an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things, for example, like that's not how it works. I just want to make that clear. So don't ever be like, I didn't make my shit rank in an hour. Why can't it be cool? Like, no. And she didn't just make something rank in an hour. She, you know what I'm saying? Anybody, if you have those connections, resources, funding, can do that. You just don't have, like, just because you don't have the money to go pay to get put somewhere within an hour doesn't mean, so let that sit. There's a big difference between organic strategies and strategies where you need resources for that. Because even she admitted she couldn't just go create an IMDb page. She had to do shit for that. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
His most successful ever marketing campaign.
Hey friend, if you stuck around this far, I'll take you to enjoying the podcast. Please hit the like button to show your support, subscribe to stay in the loop, and click the bell button to get notified when we release a new episode. Thank you. So looking back, what were the key takeaways from working on such a high-profile campaign?
You definitely need the time to plan it out. And if I ever did one again, I think.
See, so she's explaining it, or perhaps has processed it as all the time that I'm discussing as the plan out time versus the execution time of the launch of the landing page. But it all has to come together. And a lot of people, because they didn't plan before they launch, after they launch, they have to then execute what would have typically been planned before by a marketer or a marketing agency. And so that's another thing you have to contend with also.
Think I would focus more on the potential things that could go wrong or come up, because there were a few times when we were suddenly in a meeting room trying to kind of figure out what to do, especially with the JavaScript issue. And then when people were starting to think that it was fake, we were like, is there anything we can do to help? And then that's when the creative agency stepped in and updated the Wikipedia page. They did a couple of other things, I can't remember what they were now. But yeah, there were just quite a few times when I wish that we had kind of tried to pre-plan for what could go wrong.
You had 6 months. What pre-planning are you doing?
I know, but also it's one of those things where sometimes you just.
And I understand that, like, in all marketers, whenever we launch a campaign, we want to do better with things that go wrong. But it really bugs me. She's over here like, yeah, how could I have lied to these people better? Because that's why fucking people don't trust marketers. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I have a hard time feeling like I fit in a traditional advertising environment.
Just can't pre-plan, especially when you've never done it before.
But you keep saying pre-plan, and I keep saying you have 6 months. Again, what pre-planning are you doing? What did you? The whole point of having 6 months is that you're pre-planning. How many months do you need to plan a campaign? Catch me.
I know, especially with SEO when we're used to doing things like quickly. It's like, oh, we're migrating our website next week. Can you help?
Well, typically a lot of actions that you need to do to execute an SEO can happen relatively quickly, but for organic results, that typically takes a few months of needing to wait to rank because of how often Google crawls the search pages and your website.
So that's the main takeaway for you. Planning, time for planning to get the best results out of that campaign.
Definitely. Yeah.
And 6 months really helped.
That 6 months was huge. Yeah. Helped us a lot. It was also very difficult though, because.
So she's saying it took her 6 months of planning for this to execute, to launch a lot, to then come out in 1 hour. So that's what I was saying, 3 to 6 months of work.
Because there was an NDA in place, and obviously they didn't want it to get out that it was fake.
Another thing is, if you've already, and that's important too, is if you already know the URL you're going to use, you can pre-launch the URL with a save screen so it's pre-crawled, then turn that URL off for search engine indexing, and then when you turn it back on again, you'll have that established pre-crawl already. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing people can do as well.
Very few people knew what was going on, what was happening. So not everybody knew about the campaign, even within the agencies. So for example, the exec that I was working with at the time, he didn't know about it. He couldn't know about it. So whenever I asked him to do work for it, I had to be very subtle and sneaky about what I was asking him to do. And like I had to manually go in and update his timesheets for him so that he didn't know what client it was going against.
All right. I'm going back to the fact that the website was built on JavaScript, and you said there were some issues around that. First question, why was it built on JavaScript? 2, did it have any impact on the campaign? And 3, what were the challenges?
Yeah, I think with the JavaScript, it was just that classic case of a creative agency building a website. So they wanted it to look all shiny and nice. And because it was a temporary website as well, I think they just thought it would be easier to build it on JavaScript, but we just weren't told until maybe a week or 2 before it went live. I think they sent over the wireframes and I asked for some copy changes, or asked if we could add like an extra page or 2, because it was literally 1 page. The website was just 1 page. So I was like, how are we supposed to get a website ranking when there's only 1 page on the website? And then so when I asked for us to create some extra pages.
It feels like to me there's some communication issue there, because if I remember correctly, she referred to this as a microsite previously as well. I think she also, if I remember right, maybe I'm confusing this one with the one we just launched, but I think she also said the word landing page at least once as well. And a landing page and a microsite are very different, but they don't typically have the full functionality of an entire website. So I feel like that could be perhaps her not fully communicating what she wanted out of that experience, and they gave her their default for that because it's typically more minimized.
that's when they said, no, it's a JavaScript site. This is the only page. We can't build any other pages. And that's when we went into panic mode.
Okay, then get a new fucking agency, because that makes no fucking sense either, unless they didn't put that in their contract and you didn't want to pay them more to do more. That makes no fucking sense. So was there an issue with payment and funds and the scope of the contract? Because that makes no sense on premise to me. Like, what? No marketing agency is gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna work for you. Fuck you, bitch. Like, what? They're gonna want your fucking money, bitch. They're gonna tell you how much this shit costs. What? Okay.
I had to figure out how we were going to get this one-page JavaScript site to rank so fast, because the site only went live, I think, maybe a few days before the campaign launched. So we literally had a few days to get the microsite.
What would you have done differently?
Ranking. Differently, I think I would have insisted on us working closer with the creative agency, because the client was kind of the middleman, and then you and our sister agency were also kind of a middleman. As an SEO team, we did not have direct contact with Droga5.
And that can be an issue whenever you're scaling too quickly and you have way too many people communicating on a project. You get communication overhead and you don't have efficient communication because there's too many people trying to be on a project. You don't need that many people communicating on every single fucking project. That's why, like, I don't believe in terms of chain of command, in terms of, like, I think I have authority issues. So I think when people try to use authority over the other, it's bullshit. But I do think there is an importance in a workflow command in terms of decision makers and the ability to complete tasks, right? And so to that regard, you need to know who are specific decision makers for a project and only have those people in that role for need to know only on projects, because there's only so much the brain can handle. Like, so this part of this right here too is communication overload and communication stress. I can see that right now having impacted that whole fucking campaign, because this makes no sense to me.
And I think it would have been really helpful to have that direct contact. So I think in future, if I was working on a campaign like this again at such a big scale, I would insist on at least having an initial meeting with them and discussing
before you build a website.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just a case that obviously they're a creative agency, they don't have SEO experience or specialists, so they.
If they're a fucking creative agency, then they should be able to create more fucking shit. So I believe they could. I believe there was a reason they didn't want to. And I'm assuming it has to do with payment or something to do with the scope of the contract. But in my opinion, if they couldn't, then you should get a new fucking agency, because it's fucking possible. So what the fuck? Like, what was that? Why?
They weren't to know that it was going to impact the rankings and potentially the kind of attempt to fool the world. But thankfully, Schema came through for us and just helped massively. And literally all we could really do was meta title, description, and Schema. So because we couldn't change any content on the site or add any other pages or anything to help it rank. Okay. I think the backlinks helped as well. Getting that many backlinks in such a short amount of time as well was really helpful.
I'm going to ask you a hot take SEO question. Okay. What is the thing that frustrates you the most about SEO or the industry?
Oh gosh, so many things.
Itemize, Catherine, itemize.
Oh my goodness.
Well, for me, right now, it's people who mislead others and try to work around Google policies in order to continue misleading others instead of being upfront and transparent and honest. So
I think SEO is so underestimated. Everybody underestimates it. It's always an afterthought. We were really fortunate that with this campaign, we had a really strong relationship with the client. So they brought us in very early, but generally that doesn't happen. The amount of times I've been brought into a project literally a week before migration, or a migration has already happened and they're then like, can you fix all these problems for us? I do think we're brought in so late onto things. And in general, everybody just underestimates the impact SEO can have. Everybody wants quick wins. They're not willing to kind of really invest in SEO and wait for the long-term results.
It's really funny hearing from her talking about everybody wants quick wins and aren't willing to do the work for long-term results, when she's literally bragging about misleading people for quick results. So to me, I'm like, interesting. But maybe I'm a bitch.
I think this campaign is a prime example of where SEO can be really helpful, because without SEO, I don't think they would have got that 900% uplift in organic booking inquiries, because there's a likelihood that visitors who were searching Google for our set of keywords wouldn't have found that landing page because it was published an hour before the Super Bowl ad actually aired.
What is one thing you do every day that brings you a tiny pocket of joy?
Oh, cuddles with my dog. Oh, he's always so happy. Like,
notice she said 900% uplift in organic booking inquiries. She didn't talk about what were the actual numbers of the closed bookings. There's a big difference in someone asking about booking versus actually booking. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean you have a qualified buyer. And a 900% uplift in booking inquiries when after you misled people so they're trying to figure out whether or not that shit is a movie or not, I feel like isn't indicative of a qualified buyer for tourism. It's more of indicative of someone who wants to know whether or not you're a fucking ad or a movie. You know what I'm saying? My opinion.
You could be having the worst day and he's just ridiculously happy to see you and his hair is wagging. He's a mini white-haired dash end, so he looks like an old man. And he's so joyful. It brings me a lot of joy.
That is so sweet. That's it for today on Must Sport. Thank you to our guest, Catherine Lux, for that really insightful episode. This episode was engineered by Saul Fox, produced by Chima Meje and Joe Cameron, and our YouTube footage was
This lady was a great host. I really don't want the negativity I felt about the other Australian chicks. What I feel perceive as possible negligent advertising on her, because I feel like she's probably just doing her job. Normally, I feel like I really like Moz's content. I really feel like this is potentially just a bad example that I used or found, because their Whiteboard Friday shit, I swear to God, is way more educational, and I typically feel more value aligned with it. I feel like this is one of those ones where they just had a guest and they just let that bitch talk, and they're just trying to build their own shit and their own platform. So I feel like there could be something to said about like value alignment in the industry and who you have, and are you aligned with their own campaigns? Like, is that something this company is aligned with? I don't know. For services though, I do feel like I got more out of the Ahrefs, Ahrefs. I get more out of them, so I kind of lean towards more of siding with them as a better option for me for what I need for SEO tools, and for I really like their approach with the YouTube content we watched today better. So, but I use them both because having access to many different perspectives is important in marketing in order to understand how others are perceiving you. So, yeah. Do I agree with everything they put out? No. Do I still use their content? Absolutely. It's very helpful. So, coming up to follow up on this, I'm going to follow up on my own search engine optimization journey and how my own plan would increasing my ranking and things like that. And then I'm also going to follow up on the Fake Crocodile Dundee Ad thing and return on investment with Super Bowl ads. We're going to look at both of these things coming up. But yeah, if you watched all of this, thank you so much. I'm hungry. I got food, so I'm going to go fucking eat some shit. Yeah, just to recap, we talked about value alignment today in marketing industry. We discussed the specific reason with politics why I question value alignment with DEPESH Mandalia. So we questioned that. We looked at Supermetrics and how Supermetrics can be really useful for looking at your data analytics in a different way. And then we compared the platform tools of Ahrefs, Ahrefs, as well as with Moz, MOZ, for their free SEO tools. And then we also compared 2 of their learning videos. So I hope that was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I would love to chat more. And yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. You might want to adjust the volume after all of this because a loud music is going to play. So yeah, adjust the volume. And then if you're coming to these lives anyway, I do have a loyalty program, yellowdovechild.com/loyalty. If you sign up for my site as a member and you follow the check-in procedure, you can get points just for showing up to these lives anyway. So I just want to let you know about that. Yeah, I always have a really hard time saying goodbye because, you know, saying goodbye really just kind of feels like you're Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? Over here just like, Wilson! But anywho, yeah, so thank you for being here and goodbye.